Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to another episode of Viva Cafe con Leche. I am Dr. Lori Monaco from Align Yourself, Inc., and I am the Badass Buddha. I am a life coach specializing in transformation and mindfulness practice. I am a speaker, and I am a chiropractic physician specializing in holistic practice. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Buenos días, mi gente. Namaste. I am La Margarita, a spiritual and creative healing life coach, writer, artist, and I just posted on Google My Business. I am a mobile notary. So anyone in the Tampa area that needs any notarized paperwork, give me a call. I am your gladiator guru coming to you from Tampa, Florida. Namaste, and let's have a beautiful morning.
And if you want to get married.
Oh, yes. I am a wedding officiant. So packages will be put on Google My Business. So if you know anyone that needs anything, call me.
And she's got a lot of stuff going on too. Anything new that's going on with you that you're putting together that you want to share, or maybe not share right now, whatever.
Just to Ajusta tu Corona, the Empower Movement, virtual empowerment brunch this year that we are having on November 8th. The Eventbrite ticket sales are on my page. So it's Ajusta tu Corona. It's an empower movement for women. Something with our topic today, you know, if you want to make a change in your life, you need to get off your ass and start doing something different and take a leap of faith into something you've been wanting to do, thinking about doing. Well, you know what? There's no better time than right now. So November 8th, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, I believe. Lillian's going to kill me. It's the Empower Movement for women, and Ajusta tu Corona means adjust your crown. So it's this year's topic is stop the insanity. Let's stop doing what we've been doing and start marching towards our purpose.
So and there's nothing better than being around women that are doing it, that are living it, and give you the boost. And there's no excuse you're home, you know. I mean, granted, listen, I can't wait till it's back in person because it's such a great get together for women. It's such a big party, and the food is good, and the company's great. And but this is in your own home, so you have no excuse. You could do this anywhere. Share it with everybody across the country, in other countries, whatever you want to do, because this is for you. This is, you know, one price, and you get to hear speakers, and you get to be inspired, and you get contacts. You meet people, you know, so you get to network a little bit too. And so yeah, don't miss it. This is it's going to be a good one. It'll, you know, again, we want the energy to come through, right? Through the
Yes, and Lori will be one of our panelists. She will be the relationship life coach. There will be 3 life coaches.
That might be an oxymoron, I'm not sure.
There will be motivational acts. There'll be commercials of people showcasing their businesses. I mean, this is if you want to showcase your business, it's a 3-minute commercial on this actual virtual empower movement. Let me know and we'll talk details. And this is something that's going to be aired on YouTube and all facets of social media. So the founder is from Connecticut. The other co-host is from Melbourne, Florida, and then I'm here in Tampa. So our social medias will touch really everywhere. So it's a good opportunity for you to learn something, for you to share something. If you want to display your wares in a commercial, if you just want to have a mention, you can send us your business card. The prices are really great for all of that. There's the first 25 people to buy their tickets on Eventbrite get an awesome gift bag that retails more than what you're purchasing the ticket for. And I just think it's It's to inspire, it's to motivate so that you may aspire to be the best you can be. That's what we're here to do with Ajusta Tu Corona. And Lori's been a part of it since the very first one. She's been a panelist and she's spoken at these events. And yes, when it's live and you got the DJ and you get up and you got music and you play games and raffles and
you have all these crazy women.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. So
fabulous, crazy women.
So hopefully next year, 2021, we'll be able to have it live, and hopefully it'll be here in Florida and not in Connecticut. But either way, we're still doing it because that's what happens when you set your mind to make a change in the world, one person at a time. You don't let circumstances like this pandemic stop you. So there's always other avenues for you to move forward with your goals and see your vision through. And that's what we're doing now with the opportunity. This is the year virtual, so we're jumping on that bandwagon. And let's just, you got to always try something different. You got to stop the insanity, which is our main thing on Ajusta this year. And let's start blooming together, because, we women are the most powerful beings in the universe. So, we're powerful as we stand alone. When we are in a tribe, we're unstoppable. So this is what Ajusta Tu Corona provides the women. It's like it gives you that oomph to say, I got this, I'm gonna do this. So I hope that you can participate.
Brenda Welt is watching. Good morning, Brenda. So Brenda and Michelle, good morning. Tiffany's on, good morning. Midgie's on. All of you see that, just buy the tickets on Eventbrite. And
yeah, and on my end I have Nancy Harding and Miggy. Good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche.
Stop the Insanity. Wasn't that from that lady that
with the short hair?
Yeah, I looked her up recently too. She was back in the early 90s, I think, right? And she was such Susan Powder.
Mm-hmm.
Powders.
Exactly.
And she was such a badass back then when nobody was ready for that type of female. Like remember she was like, she had the slender but muscular look to her, and it's like some people caught on, but I think she would have been, if she'd come in like 10 years later, she would have been ridiculously popular. She still does motivational speaking though. I don't know what possessed me to look her up. It was like literally like 2 months ago I looked her up, and she still does motivational speaking.
And that was great because like people, it's like, what is insanity? Is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yes. And I think a lot of us have pushed forward with this pandemic and decided to start new ventures, businesses from home. And some of them are very quite productive, and they're making money. And then you have those that, because of the pandemic, they kept putting things on hold. And I think that either way, you're not wrong in either way. Some people are planners, other people are impulsive. And then you just got to meet yourself in the middle. Say, I can't keep doing what I was doing. I got to try something different, and meet yourself in your middle and start putting your plan into action. Because, it's about falling 7 times and rising like the phoenix on the 8th and saying, oh, I got this. I had it all along. And then you pay that forward to the next person who you seem stuck. Okay, listen, this is what I can give you some advice, a little tip here, a little tip there. And that's how women empower women, by giving them a hand up. So I think that stopping the insanity is, we have to repeat that to ourselves when we're afraid to do something different in our day. Because, our own worst enemy are our thoughts, not the haters. Because if you know that people are envious of you and they're hating on what you're doing, you got to use that as ammunition to light that firecracker up your ass and soar. You got to soar.
Firecracker up my ass today.
You got to learn how to soar like the eagles and not worry about what the next person is doing, but just take all that energy that maybe we spent on worrying about what they're going to think, or nobody's going to buy it, or people might think it's stupid. Take all that energy and ball it up and feed yourself with it. Take that same energy that you're wasting giving out and incorporate it into you and live in abundance, because that's what we're meant to do. We're not
which
meant to
is our
struggle.
perfect topic today, is get off your ass. Get off your ass today. So before we get off, we talk about getting off our asses, which I need this talk today. I can't even tell you. So we'll do our intention. We'll talk about our coffee. How's your coffee today? What are you drinking?
Send us a photo, a little selfie. See, I got my third eye. I'm trying to wake up my third eye.
And then you have it on your.
And then I have, yep, right here. Because this is work I'm doing to take that ball of energy and put it right back into my core, so that then I can start, building with it and just keep, because we all have fears, even though we might think we don't. But, when we decide we're doing something and then all of a sudden we're tired and want to take a nap, or we want to sit down and do something other than what we're supposed to do, that's the fear, gnawing at you. So
Absolutely.
sometimes you got to do your own cleansings and say, you know what, I got to rise above it. So this is my mug. It is the all-seeing eye, wake up my third eye, so that I can inquire within what it is I need to launch forward.
Did you make that mug?
No.
Oh.
I wish this is like carved in, and I have been looking for mug molds so I can start, but I must not be looking in the right place. But yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm drinking Leche Cafe because that's been, I've been stuck on that one recently. And that's my second breath of life every morning, right? Mi café con leche. That's the wake up of my palate when it dances across my tongue.
Wake up. So I need to drink the coffee faster. Actually, I think I need more. I should sit the pot next to me while we're broadcasting. It's a really slow day. I am drinking my Bones coffee on my Life is Good mug.
I like
my
that.
favorite mugs. I love this mug. It's so simple. But I'm on my Bones coffee, and I'm still into the Bones coffee. I'm still working through it, and I love that. Their coffee's really good. So kudos to the Bones Coffee Company.
There you go. So remember, mi gente, send us a selfie. Carmen Nieves, good morning, Carmen. Good morning, Petey.
Carmen. Edith says on, good morning.
Carmen says that it's hard for her to post her picture, so she posts it on her page, and then I go in. I think Lori has, and I save it and post it on the other social medias. So if you are having problems posting, do the chat. Just post it on your page and tag Lori and I, and then we'll take it and put it on all the other social medias. And, just a selfie. However you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, because we do like them. Just people have been very cool about posing their cups, which is really cute. Because I think I uploaded a bunch of those onto the pages. But I also love it when people put their, take a picture of themselves with the cup too. And I think we're gonna have to. I was thinking about this like a little while ago, and then I forgot about it. I think whenever our guests come on, we have to make sure that they take a picture of themselves with their coffee cup and send it to us, because we need to have all our guests. So if any guests that are listening that have been on already, make sure that you do that. I know Diana Negron has done it. And of course, Ephraim, he sends me cups with him all the time. Any excuse for him to take a picture of himself, he has no problem. But everybody else that's been on, we want to have your, you and your cup, so we can say, you were a guest on this day or whatever. So anybody who's listening, make sure you send it. You can send it DM, you can, I think, right? If they should be able to send a picture DM, maybe not, I don't know. Instagram still confuses me, but I think in Facebook you can.
Yeah, probably. That's why I said I take it from Facebook and then I add it to the other social media. So yeah, just do it. It's wonderful. I love it.
All right, let's do our intention for today and our mantra, and then we will get talking about your ass.
I'm getting it up.
All right, what are you reading today? Which one? I forgot. What did we say?
I'll do the intention. So here, the intention for today is to explore something I've never seen before, and if I'm afraid, to do it anyway. So that's the intention, to explore something you've never seen before, and if you're afraid, just do it anyway.
Which is perfect for today, because sometimes that's the reason we won't get off our ass, because of fear. So the mantra is, I release all habits that are disempowering. I release all habits that are disempowering. Okay. So
That one's strong.
And how's the weather over where you are? It's gloomy here again today. It's been nothing but gloomy. The last, I think, 3 broadcasts that we've had, and it's raining, which we've needed. Connecticut's needed the rain, but I'm already tired of it.
No, it's nice. It's sunny out. It's
good.
Nice.
That's good. All right. So today's topic, get off your ass. I need this. So I'm not only going to be discussing it with all of you, I'm also going to have to put it into practice, because I have been feeling that way myself, sort of slowing down, getting a little bit of a funk, real tired. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But get off your ass physically, mentally, emotionally. So you've talked about it. You've said you want to start that business, get a new job, go back to school, travel the world, start a new relationship, etc. So get off your ass and do it. What does it take for us to get up and just go for it? Let's talk about the psychological and emotional hurdles we face. Is it easy as just standing up and going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just like Mel Robbins does? So, and we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about her 5-second rule, because it is.
It works wonderful. I've done it several times.
So who wants to go first? Get off your ass. Let's talk about why this is so hard for us. So what do you want to go for first? Like the physical, the mental, emotional, which one? Because I think they all tie in, first off. But I think it's really the start of the mental, right? The mental sort of starts it all. And if the mental gets to you, then emotionally you get connected to it. And then physically you get connected to it, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yes. Pookie's on. Jonathan Pookie. What's your take on this? There's always that little tug that's really just a tug. You know, like when you're walking by something and your sweater gets stuck on something, and then you're like, oh my God, and you, before you really pull it, you go back so that your sweater doesn't ruin. I think sometimes it's what holds us back is as small as that, but we make it so much bigger because it's something that we have an excuse not to move forward with. So we leave it till tomorrow, you know. I think a lot of it is procrastination because of fear. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's fear. I think it's also too when we get stuck on something we don't really know a lot about or we don't know how to do. So like if you're trying to start a business, or if you're thinking about going back to school and it's an avenue you've never really taken before, there's this hesitation because of the unknown. Not the unknown of the fear piece, that's one piece, but also just not having the insight or the knowledge which direction to go, or you feel very overwhelmed. Like maybe you're thinking about going back to school or you're starting that business, but there's so many things that you're thinking about, so many pieces of it, and you're very overwhelmed with it. And so that often will cause us to sort of sit still and like sit down on our ass and say, okay, I'm going to go through all of this. But then what's the expression? It's procrastination. Oh my God. It's, oh God, I love this expression too. It's
I see.
Paralysis of analysis. Paralysis of analysis. Like when you analyze things too much, when you're overthinking, you become paralyzed, and then you end up sitting on your ass for a longer period than you anticipated. So like if you set goals, you said, oh, by this date, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, but you took so long to figure things out, and then all of a sudden you're like 3 weeks in, and you're like, oh, it's already here. I do this all the time, mind you. This is one piece of my business that I do this with, and I have got to get past that hump. And now I'm reaching a point where, as a result of me continuously doing this over the last couple of months, I'm actually mentally and emotionally drained and very tired. And I was just saying this to Margie this morning, that I'm really tired. Like I'm physically now, because this is what happens is the mental and emotional catches up, and then it manifests into a physical situation, a scenario. So sometimes we get ourselves sick. Sometimes we just get tired and we can't explain it. And then we say, okay, well, I just got to rest. I just got to rest. And sometimes you do, but then you have to wonder and say, okay, where's this coming from? Because then it sets up this like, okay, if you're behind already and now you're saying you're tired and now you're going to take a break because you're really tired, then you're going to get behind even more, which is going to get you depressed. So it's going to affect you emotionally and it's going to affect you mentally. So there's a point where you have to actually become aware of it and dive into it and get off your ass and say, okay, yeah, I got all that. Like, I know I'm tired. I know I'm this, I'm knowing that, but I have to do it. You know, I just have to do it. And so I'm at that piece. Like, I'm at that point. Like, I have got to get off my ass on one piece of my business today and tomorrow. Like, I absolutely have to do it because I've seen the progression over the last couple of months. And so today, that's how I feel. I'm literally, all I want to do is kind of go back into bed and just go to sleep because I feel like, now I'm not depressed. It's just, I feel tired. Like I feel if I closed my shades, I could sleep for like another 6 hours. But I know that that's not, and somebody argue that is a type of depression, but you know, that's how I feel. And it's just mainly because, yes, I might be physically tired, but part of it is I know I have a lot to do today and tomorrow, and I'm using that as the excuse to not do it. So it happens with the people that do this for a living. So please don't think that you're alone on that.
No, Iris says that her brain gets drained and then she feels drained. And Miggy says she just started doing the 5-second rule. It does help you get up and push you to do what you have to do. Yeah. And I found that when I am tired and I just want to sit there or just grab a pillow and I don't, and I force myself to do something and I'm like arguing with myself. Once I start doing the project that I've been trying to put off, it's like my energy comes right back.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's like crossing the threshold from not doing it to let me do this. And I think that we got to push ourselves across that threshold. And then we're going to see that it's a whole different energy once we actually take the couple steps to walk from, like for me, to walk from my living room into my sanctuary. Lately, I haven't been back here. I haven't been feeling well. But like last night, I said, oh my God, I had made myself a to-do list when I was so tired in the living room. And look at, I even ripped it out of my notepad. And I said, I have to get this done today. And I put must do today, Monday, 10/12. And then I just set it aside. And then last night after I put mom to bed, I saw it. And I said, let me go do this. And I did everything on the list.
Good, yay, that's great. It's very uplifting when you do that, when you have your little list, you check them off. Actually, it's releasing chemicals within your brain and it legitimate. That's why I get that boost. It's releasing dopamine, which is your goal chemical, like when you goal.
And I just think that's what we have to do. We have to just push through it. Unless you're not feeling well, then please rest. But half the time, it's just that fear, and we keep feeding it. You know, you got to starve that bitch, and you feed those ideas.
And let's let's dissect this for a little bit too, because this is going to help me. So I think, so this is the awareness that I've come with what I'm feeling myself lately. And it's, you have to look at everything that you're doing in your life, and it not just your business or your person, you know, it's like everything, business and personal. Because for me, being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and same thing with Guru, is that it's like they kind of meld together. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, and especially if you're working home, even if it's not your own business, it's melding together. It was one thing when you worked somewhere else and you would like go to your job and then do your job and then come home, and there was a separation for your personal life and your work life. But we're seeing a lot of intertwining, you know, so people are like checking their emails for their job at like 9 o'clock at night, you know, when they took like a 3-hour break between making dinner and hanging out and doing their own personal stuff. So you have to sort of dissect the pieces and see where you're being pulled. and what you're responsible for. And I think that's what's getting to me, is that I'm being pulled in an awful lot of directions and I'm not happy about it. And there's things that I really shouldn't be working on and doing because I just shouldn't be. But sometimes you have to, or there's pieces that I just said I didn't say no to. And so now I have to look at it all and say, okay, how much time am I devoting to this? How much am I devoting to my business? How much am I devoting to myself? And where's the burnout coming from? And so once you become aware of the pieces, then you have to decide how to work on each piece. Do I say no to this piece? Do I pass this piece off to somebody else because I can't do it, or I can't do it right now? Do I ask for help? You know, that's the other thing. Do I say to somebody, hey, listen, I'm drowning here. Like I'm like going in a gazillion different directions and I cannot stay focused. That's where, you know, people come in to help you, you know, and it's not awful to ask those questions.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to ask the right people too. You know, I've actually done that. I've actually reached out to a couple of people and they haven't really been as helpful. They've actually made it a little worse. So I have to figure out who to ask now, you know, to get the direction, and write stuff down. Like with what, you know, Gladiator Brewer was doing, she wrote the list. I haven't even done that. Like I haven't even really put a list together and say, okay, this is what I need to do to get myself focused. You know, some days I just wish somebody would call me up and go, okay, what are we working on today? You know, like that's, I think people who have assistants are the luckiest people in the world.
Well, we had that system, Lori, but then life got in the way for a
No,
minute there with
assistants.
oh, assistants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
Like
a
a
system.
personal assistant. Like we need, Gladiator Guru and I need, so listen, if anybody's looking for internships, we each need an intern to be our personal assistant, not for our personal life, but for our business lives, because we have a lot going on. And I think we would be unbelievably productive if we just had that one extra person, that one extra hand, because it's hard to do everything yourself. And that might be where you're sitting on your ass, because you're kind of like throwing your hands up going, okay, I'm tired of doing this. Like I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Somebody's asking me to do this and I can't keep doing it and I'm getting burnt out. So, so that's why you have to decide what your pieces are.
And I think, see, like Carmen Nieves and Stephanie Nieves sent me this planner, and it's really thick and heavy, but it has so many good things in it. So this is what I've been doing with it. And anybody who knows me knows I'm not a planner, but this has been working for me, you know, writing myself notes, telling myself what the hell I got to do. And I do have a lot going on right now in many different areas, but I think there is slow moments when I just sit down, because the reality is when you see, when you accept the reality that dementia is taking over, and you talk to your mom, and I don't know, I like at this point, is she losing her hearing? Is she losing her sight? Or is she just like absent?
Yeah.
And I have to say a couple times, Ma, and then she's like, then she'll yell out in front of her, who's calling me? And I'm right next to her. So I think that messes with your psyche as well. That messes with it pulls at your heartstrings, because, you know, when you're so used to fixing stuff, and then now you can't fix that. And I just see myself going on the same way with Eric when he started becoming so paralyzed, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think that that eats away at you as well, you know. So there's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of hidden pockets that you all might have out there that prevent you from really being 100% present in whatever project you have going on with it, or your life, physically, mentally, and or emotionally. The thing is, talk it out. Because once you voice it out to someone and you hear it, you're like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. But if you only think it, it only grows and grows and grows, and then you don't know what to do with it, so you do nothing. And I think that plays a lot of part when we don't get off our asses, when we know we can. So I think you have to, make a list and make columns. Like, this is what I want to do. This is the hours I can do it. And the pros and cons of what might hold you back and what you can do in lieu of that. Like, what can you do in between those spaces? So lately I take my laptop and all my notebooks, and I've been sitting on the couch next to my mother, and she's in her recliner, and I'm on the couch and I'm working from there. And I normally don't like to because the noise of the TV bothers me. But lately that's what I've been having to do because I can't come back here all the time because she's been coughing. What if she chokes? I mean, there's a lot of ifs and whatever, but there's much more. I got this. I just got to rearrange my schedule.
Right. And that's a big piece. So that awareness of your self-management, it's not even time management, because time management is time is time. It's 20
what's the relevance of time? People are so stuck on the hands on the clock, and I don't live my life like that. It is much more about yourself. You know, we all have the same amount of time, 86,400 seconds in a day. So people can do 100 times more than the next person. But I just think, yeah, it's exactly what you said. It's more of yourself and centering yourself and looking at what you have to do. And some days you just got to pick what's the most important for that day. You know, but I think that when you get off your ass and it's time to get off your ass, don't be so hard on yourself, because that's also like that. Like, what is it I want to say? You know, when you're tied up to something like the elephants and they can only go so far before it hurts them.
Yeah.
We're our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like when you're tied up somewhere, a ball and chain, let's put it that way. So sometimes you will only go as far as you allow yourself to go. So stop putting those boundaries around your growth. Go ahead.
And you were talking about having people having people help you, like speak to you, sharing it. Like if you're stuck, if you need assistance, mentioning to people. But you also want to make sure that you mention it to people that are supportive of you. Because if you're feeling stuck and you feel like you're on yourself about not doing this or not following through with this, you don't want the person that you're telling this to reiterate that. You don't want them to sit there and go, yeah, you're right, you said you were going to do this. And it's like, look, I know, I just said that to you. I don't need to be reminded, because that'll just make you feel worse. You need somebody that's going to boost you, that's going to give you solutions, and not just like half-ass solutions just to shut you up. It's like, okay, well, let's talk about this. What's going on with you? Why aren't you moving forward? What can be taken off your plate to give you that freedom to do that piece of it? You know, maybe I can help you for a little while. Maybe so-and-so can help you for a little while. But that's really good, is to just get it out. And then what happens is that whenever you sort of work with another person, it gets your mind going and it frees it. So then all of a sudden you're not as stuck as you were just within yourself.
Absolutely.
Because the moment you set into place that, oh, I can't keep doing this, like, oh, this is not good, I can't keep going at this direction, and I feel really lost, and I feel afraid, even if you recognize that, that's the mental piece. Then you get attached to it emotionally. You're like, well, why bother? Like, what? It's just easier to stay where I am, even though I'm not happy, even though I'm not doing this. And then the physical piece comes in, where you get lazy. And then you start going back into your habits, and you say, I was reading a lot of books and listening to podcasts and going out and exercising and doing this. And all of a sudden you're sitting back watching TV, and you're literally sitting on your ass, and because you just don't have the go. And what's interesting is the people around you that are used to you doing this will encourage that. Oh, have a seat. Oh, you're doing too much, and you'll fall into that trap, because that it's not about you, it's about them. You're making them feel uncomfortable. So also be really aware of that. Be aware of the people around you in your life, if they are always contributing to that, So this is actually boosting me.
But also when you trust someone to go to, sometimes I like to read body language. Sometimes you just have to just be an ear. Sometimes they don't even want advice back, because they're getting it just by listening to them. So they just need a sounding board. So
Yes.
you either can be that perfectly pitched sounding board for someone in need, or you can be that person that's not gonna give your opinion percent, but so what do you think you should be doing, and how would you do it? And it's just putting it back on the person because they have their own answers, right? Jonathan says that you should always be able to go to someone who's always around on their own. They will fully understand and help. And Carmen says, I might be a booster. You most definitely are.
Yeah.
Not sure, she says, but not for myself sometimes. What the hell? Because that's, you know what? When a psychiatrist goes to a psychiatrist. I say that all the time just to because it's like an umbrella for everything. And sometimes that's what we do. You know, that's what we do. Janet, good morning. Janet's on my baby sister. Jonathan says this video needs to go viral. People need to understand to be aware. Also, just be a listener sometimes. Absolutely, that's being the sounding board.
Jonathan,
And
we love you. Yes.
And Jonathan, help us go viral, Jonathan. And he says,
that would
LOL.
get me off my ass if this went viral. That would definitely get me.
Look what he says. LOL. A barber goes to a barber. LOL. We all need help. Absolutely. And I think that is the most courageous step we humans can make and take, is knowing that we all need help. Because that unhinders you, and it also, by you going to someone, explaining a problem, they might have something they're dealing with, you're helping them, and it's a pay it forward type of deal. Because you know what? No matter where we are in life, what's our status, we are all going through something.
And with regard to what Carmen said, it's, you know, it's easier for us to help another person because we get an immediate satisfaction out of that. We're not afraid of it. We detach it from ourselves, and we go for it, and we find what works really well for that person, and we help them, and we get this huge boost of happy chemicals in our brain, and we feel good immediately. Whereas with ourselves, it takes a little bit longer sometimes. So if we're working on a project and it's not an immediate gratification, and that we don't get that immediate chemical boost, we lose our momentum. That's why, like with Margie, she put the list down, but then she pushed herself to do it last night. And then you probably felt pretty damn good when you went to bed last night.
Awesome. I mean, I was done. And then I said, I'm going to treat myself to 15 minutes of watching La Voz España on YouTube. And I sat here for 15 minutes just drooling over Alejandro Sanz and listening to all these beautiful voices. And you know what? I was happy. You know, I set myself up to have completed a task that I wrote on this piece of paper yesterday morning. And then I treated myself to something that was going to make me feel happy. So I celebrated my accomplishments, even though it was later in the day, but I got it done. And then I went about my business and went to sleep. And that's what you have to do. And Jonathan says it's hard for ourselves to take our own advice. Absolutely. Absolutely. And because the self-doubt sets in, and the lack of self-trusting that we are correct, you know. And if you just do the self-love thing, everything else falls into place. And we're not gonna, you know, what was it that I posted? Coca-Cola sold only 25 bottles the first year it was in business. Imagine if they would have given up. 25 bottles in 1 year. That's all they sold, Coca-Cola. And look at them now. They're everywhere. So it's like, you know, it's about finding a tribe that believes in you if you're having trouble believing in yourself, but you're still not giving up. So you find that tribe that's going to call you up and say, hey, badass Buddha, did you finish what you did? You know, did you start it? What do you need help on? And then that's good. They're going to be like, yeah, I started it, even though they didn't. But guess what? They're going to want to do it now because you asked about it.
Yeah, the accountability piece for sure.
Yes.
Because we all do that. Listen, you could be very motivated 1 minute and you're saying to yourself, oh, I wish I could bottle this. Like, this is fantastic. I feel so good. I'm like pushing myself. This is fantastic. And then all of a sudden we do one of these things and we go into that low piece. And that's when sometimes somebody needs to also be very aware. Like if you know people and you see that they they started to do this, you go up to them and you say, what do you need? Like, what is it that you need? What can I do for you? Especially if you're up here and they're here, because when it starts to switch, it's reciprocated, you know? Okay, what is it that you need now? What can I do for you? What, you know, maybe, again, it's just the sounding board. Maybe it's just like, what's going on with you? Why is all this happening? I don't know. Well, just talk to me. How are you feeling? Because if you do not get off your ass, you will physically, if you do not do that, it will eventually become so overwhelming mentally and emotionally that you will go into a state of depression, and it will get worse and worse and worse, and it will get to such a level that it's going to be so much harder to get yourself out of it, and you might not be able to get yourself out. You would definitely need somebody else to help you. So the questions to ask yourself is, you know, first of all, recognize it. You know, say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling unmotivated? Why am I feeling like I just want to sit around? And Margie was right. Are you not feeling well? Is it a sickness? Okay, then give yourself some space, but allow that space only for a certain period of time. Because you could say, well, I'm feeling like I'm catching a cold. Okay, so give yourself a couple of days. But if 5 days later, you're still like not quite on a cold level yet, and you're like, well, I don't know, I feel like I'm catching a cold. Come on now. So you have got to give yourself a little bit of space, but you have to recognize it and say, okay, when did this start happening? Why am I feeling this way? What's really going on here? And if you feel like you have a little bit of push to get yourself out of that bed, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like the 5-second rule does, is just push yourself out, move forward. But if not, then there might have to be somebody that has to pull you out of the bed, calls you up in the morning and says, get your ass out, get up, what are you doing? I'm going to meet you out here and we're going to go do this. Because, and I guess, you know, seriously, we're all a tribe. So it's all our responsibility to check on each other. And I think it would make a much bigger difference. And then once you get like the lists with what Gladiator Guru was saying, is just make a list of what are the things that you need to do and when you can do them. And, you know, they don't have to be a daily list. They could be a weekly list. Say, I need to get this done in a week. And, you know, realistically, how much can I get done by myself, and just push yourself. I went on a roll there.
No, because it's true. And you know what? You know how when we mess up on somebody and then we feel guilty? You know, and then we need to internalize that. We need to say, what the hell am I doing? I'm stopping my own progress. And then you have to, you know, like the bow and arrow, you have to prepare yourself for that launch. And anything in life, anything. When you're feeling sluggish, go outside, walk in your yard, go walk barefoot, get grounded, smell the air, listen to the birds. I mean, that would be such a big boost. And even if it takes you just 10 minutes to do that, trust me, it boosts your energy. It just makes you feel like you can walk on water. You know, you're going to call up Jesus, hey, meet me in the middle of the ocean because I got this. You know, so that's something that and it'll take a minute. Nature is the best medicine. And for those who don't like to walk barefoot, I don't know what to tell you. Go hug a tree, you know, or just sit still and listen to the birds, or watch the squirrels chase each other up the trunk of a tree, because it happens everywhere. And like if you're at work, step outside, get away from the fluorescent lights, let the sun beam down on you so that your ideas will start, you know, that those wheels will start rolling inside your head.
Just take a breath. Breathe for like 2 to 5 minutes, just like full deep breaths, and don't pass out, because that much oxygen might cause you to pass out.
Because you got to breathe in slowly and count to 10, and then you breathe out slowly. Like that, you don't get dizzy. Iris says, and a barber is the best listener, but who listens to the barber? And Jonathan, I'm falling in love with you, Jonathan. He says, this is where you ladies help me at the shop. Then he wrote back, motivation with like 10 exclamation points. Thank you. Sonia, hello, Sonia. Sonia is one of my long friends, I believe 7th grade. And she works 3 jobs and she is a powerhouse. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, Sonia, good morning.
And she is a nurse, so send love to this lady right here. She says, wow, great topic today. hits him, been so emotional and crying, and I don't know why. I feel like the walls are caving in on me. I can't seem to shake it off. Yeah, but Sonia, because we all go through that. You work 3 jobs, and then
Yeah.
your waking hours, you're enjoying and sharing the beauty of your grandson with us all. And you know, she's a phenomenal mom and driving back and forth to college to her kids. And I just think, Sonia, I admire you, and I think you got to look in the mirror and remind yourself what badass bitch you are.
Yes. And self-care, baby. You need a little self-care, it sounds like. That if you're that way.
You're tired because you're such a giver. So I think, yeah, just sit outside when you have, there's no one around you. Just sit outside. Don't think of anything. Don't worry about doing anything by a certain time, and just sit there and enjoy nature. I promise you, it'll make you feel better. It really would. Jonathan said I would drive to the beach and listen to the waves, throw on my Pandora. Absolutely. Lucy Diaz, hello mama. She said go hug a tree, which is true. I'm a tree hugger. She says, love listening to you ladies. Have a great day. You do the same. Lillian says burnout is a huge topic all over the news. Sonia says, oh, I feel better already. Thank you. Love you, Margie. Oh, I love you too, baby girl, because that's what we're about. And it's about self-care, you know, mental wellness. This is what Get Off Your Ass is about. Lori, thank you for this topic, because, you know, everyone needs to hear different things, but this is health and wellness, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it is funny. It is about lighting firecrackers up your own ass, or it's about lighting a match for someone else to light their firecrackers up their ass. And it's about seeing someone who has a frown and just giving your all to make them smile. That's what makes us better people in the world. Those are the humans we all need to remind ourselves to be again. And because we're all going through something, and some of us will share and others will just sit in our sorrow. And let me tell you, I've been on both sides of the fence, and sitting in your sorrow, it will just rot you.
The pity party, your pity party.
But
don't invite yourself to the pity party, your pity party.
24 hours are the only pity party you can have. So I'm just saying, like, you know what? Mentally, physically, and emotionally, it might be a battle that you're dealing with, but you won the war already, especially when you admit that you're going through something. It's won. You know, you've earned your stripes. You know, you went out there with your sword, with your pistol, whatever it is, how you battle, but battle beautifully, mi gente.
Because this is for you. This is
yeah, because you're battling for your spirit. So when you go out there, you put on your best armor you can, that war paint on your face, and you look in that mirror and you tell yourself, you're not giving up. You know, you were a little tired, you know, a little held back. Iris wrote the word that I was looking for, which was restraint. Cut them loose. Cut those restraints you placed on yourself. Because people are going to do what they do, but it's up to you to fall into it or to grow from it. So let's choose to grow. What are you laughing at?
That's the piece. You just hit a very powerful piece. We put it on ourselves. That's the truth. It's if we feel that we can't get off our ass because we're overwhelmed, we don't know to which direction to go, we put it on ourselves, which means what? If we put it on ourselves, it means that we can take it off. And so for those of you out there, this is what I was thinking of a few moments ago, for those of you out there that like to help people get off their ass, I'm going to ask the people that they've helped to make sure that you turn around almost immediately, let's say immediately, and say, okay, what can I help you get off your ass now? Because sometimes the people who are out there that are such givers, they're giving, and then they won't ask for the help. But you have to be able to also recognize that they need it too, because it's funny. So Jonathan was saying that he felt so motivated with this conversation today, yet I'm feeling motivated with the comments that he made.
Absolutely.
So this works. You see how this works is that it's just about sharing information and saying to yourself, okay, well, where am I falling short? I'm going to help this person, but where am I falling short? Can I help myself? And if not, I'm going to have to ask somebody to help me and then organize myself. Also recognize too, what's your best time of day? That's another piece too, is getting off your ass, you might be able to get off your ass better in the morning than at night, you know? And be really aware of that. So you're like, what is your best time of day? Like, that's part of my problem. See, my problem right now is, or my challenge, I don't want to say my problem, I'm homeschooling my 7-year-old, and the only time of day that's best for her is like the 9 to 12 to 1 spot. But unfortunately, that's also my powerhouse time of the day. I'm a morning person. And what I'm finding is that because I've shifted all my business stuff to after when she's done, I lose my momentum, and it's starting to catch up to me. So I'm aware of this. Now I have tough choices to make. You know, do I send her back to school? I can't really shift her timing, because then it's like a battle to do her teaching in the afternoon. So I've got some tough decisions to make. And that's why I've been so tired, because I know what the decisions I need to make are. And I've just been kind of dragging my feet because I know there's going to be resistance. So sometimes we sit in our beds, we want to stay sleeping because of that resistance, and usually, right, what do we say in transformation? When you feel that resistance, that's the direction you're supposed to go in. It's always the case. That's exactly where the universe is telling you to go.
You know, that's really important. When I'm up, once I'm up, I don't lay back down. I don't get comfortable throughout my day. I make myself uncomfortable to fall into something that I shouldn't. What I've been doing since I've been sick lately is I'll sit up on the couch and I bring all my work with me. And I sit in a position to where I can get comfortable, because it's easy to do that. But what you were saying, Jonathan said, give someone a compliment. It goes a long way.
It really does. Yeah.
And it does. It does. And
Carmen, Jonathan, you're wonderful. How's that? We're thrilled to have you.
Jonathan, just pick out a Thursday that you're free, because you're going to be a guest on the show. Yes. Carmen says, very true. Lillian Maldonado, Margarita, Chapman, Lori, Monaco, burnout. Great topic. Yes, it is. It is. I think we have something similar coming up as well. But yeah, so I just think that I just wanted to leave a quote before we left, because I know we have time. But one of the quotes is, decide where you want to be and don't stop till you get there.
I love that. It's so simple.
It is simple. And the thing is, people quit because there's construction on the road. So now you got to make a detour. That's our life. That's our life. And remember, when something is good, it's going to be hard to get to. The easy stuff always falls in our life because, it's easy. Who the hell got to work hard for it? You want to earn your abundant life, because then you know that you worked for it. And once you're there, you can look back and say, I did this, and when you have chosen to not wake up, get up and shake the negative energy off, ask yourself, why? Who hurt me? And your answer should be, I did. I failed myself by not getting up and moving my ass in the direction it needed to go.
Right. Otherwise, regret and should have, could have, would have as you get older. That was great. That was a fantastic quote and fantastic insight, following that quote. So thank you.
But that's my insight. That the quote's not mine, but the insight is mine, because it is like. So Jonathan says, you ladies boost my day. And hola Marina. And Carmen says, reporting for work. Love you ladies. Have a great day. Hugs to you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Marina says, we are right, my friend. Jonathan says, time doesn't stop, so don't you stop either. Absolutely. And if you do, because you got a little pebble in your shoe, shame on you. And, don't waste nobody's time with your sorry, sad stories if you're never going to do anything past it.
Dump your pebble out.
I'm quick to tell somebody.
Dump your pebble out.
I'm quick to tell somebody, we've discussed this 5 times already. You're wasting my time. Do something about it, or move on to the next person to tell your stories. And that might sound mean, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit, because you're preventing me from helping somebody who needs it. Or you're preventing me from growing in my own abundance, because I'm taking that time to assist you when you really don't want help.
That's right. And that's
But
actually quite a loving statement.
yeah,
Really is.
so I'm really not the person to come to with bullshit, because I'm gonna call you out on it in a heartbeat.
That's
Yeah,
what
so,
makes her a fabulous life coach.
and I want to say Luis Molina from Spain is on. Hola. And Sonia says, Beatty says, love you. And Sonia says, thank you for the motivation this morning, ladies. Have a great day. Got to get back to work. I love you, Zoe. Yes. See you
And
Thursday.
I got to go school my kids. So, so Thursday's topic is the power of vulnerability. And with our special guest, Miss Shelley's back again. So we are very excited to have Shelley on. And just at the end, when Gladiator Guru freezes, what a good way to end our broadcast with her freezing. So hopefully she'll pop on so she could say her trademark thing. So yes, Shelley will be back on. We're going to be talking about the power of vulnerability and how empowering it is. There you go. I was hoping you froze for a moment. I want to make sure you said your trademark.
I'm back.
So, okay, so you guys, will see you on Thursday. Don't miss that one. The power of vulnerability is going to be a really good conversation. And you know how Shelley's fantastic. So, okay, so thank you so much for everybody coming on today. And from me, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary. Gladiator.
Yes, mi gente. Learn how to breathe in the beauty. Breathe out the bullshit. Have a great day. Namaste.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.